Practicing silence. Let me explain what I mean. When you practice silence, you bring inner peace, self-awareness, and mental clarity. A few years ago, about 3 or 4 years ago, for the first time, I found myself talking to my mother with anger. And it surprised me because it is my first time in my whole entire life that I had anger in my spirit, my soul. Well, the spirit doesn't hold anger, your soul, but the mind, the subconscious mind. And I felt embarrassed. I felt sad. I felt guilty. So I thought I was in control of my emotions, but you never are. That's why practicing daily, it is imperative for your well-being. Not to the point of obsession that if you don't do it one day, the whole world is going to collapse. No. But you practice daily the same way you eat, the same way you shower, the same way you do other things that are necessary for the body, for the mind, right? So I found myself yelling at my mother, and I decided that I was never going to go back to visit my mother until I realized why I yelled at my mother. When I came back, it coincided with that year Lenten season with the church, with the Catholic Church. And someone mentioned it, and I said to myself, oh, I can just go on 40 days of silence. I didn't know what that meant. I just needed to do something, and I didn't know what to do. So I embarked in that 40 days, which I realized later on that it's not 40 days, it's 50 days. But since church don't count the weekends, it counts it as 40 days, so it can match with Jesus' scripture. You know how we do things. We always find a loophole. Anyway, during that 40 days of silence, which it was very hard, and it was incredible because I have done many silence retreats before. One day silence retreat, a weekend silence retreat. But this time, when I took this session of silence, it was something like switch. Like my mind was fighting. My mind realized that it was something serious and it was fighting me. It was hard. It was almost like someone was trapping me. Like my mouth felt like someone holding me. It was myself. I wanted to do this right. Anyway, during that 50 days of silence, and I have some setback, but I picked myself back up. I understood why I was upset with my mother, which that's not the point, but I understood why the anger. I understood what I was doing to myself. I understood that no one, absolutely no one does anything to us. We are the one deciding what anything means. And it comes from when we are children. When we are children, we don't have the vocabulary or the capacity to figure things out because the adults around you are the one guiding you. And those adults around you are also dealing with your own emotional trauma. So you can only give what you have for yourself. So this is why you see the revolving door, or we keep repeating the same patterns over and over again. So when I mean that, even as a child, you have the power to decide how you're going to interpret what you see and what you hear. The mind does that for you. Your mind. The mind doesn't have an age. The mind doesn't have a beginning or an end. The mind is energy. You can either create it or destroy it. You can only transform it. But we transform those energy when we are children according to what we learned, what we see, what we hear. But when you become an adult, now you are full responsible, not a fault, responsible, meaning no matter what happens out there, as hard as it is, as difficult as it could be, you are still empowered to determine how you are going to manage your emotions and your thoughts. So spending that 50 days also opened my eyes what it means to love unconditionally. In fact, that was after that relationship that I mentioned earlier, going through that silent retreat with myself, I rediscover who I am and why I'm here, and the message, Jesus' message, which is the reason that brought me to this part of my life of sharing this experience that I hope it helps you. So practice silence. I challenge you not just to 5 minutes, take a whole day of silence. Take my 1 day silent retreat where you will be by yourself doing nothing but just doing things for you. So look at that. You have an opportunity to engage on a whole day silent retreat. And believe me, I wasn't thinking about that until this point that I just remember there's a day with myself program that is specifically for you, to get to know you further than what this program of 1 hour offers you, which at the end it will be the same equivalent if you follow the instruction, because if you practice daily the way I'm encouraging you to do daily, you'll get to the point where that day, that 1 hour a day becomes that day and more. But what an amazing experience to spend one day in silence. But if you cannot, do 5 minutes or 10 minutes. All right. I trust that you trust yourself.